Welcome to the Death Talk podcast. The vision for this podcast is to break the culture of silence surrounding death and dying. I'm your host, Lisa Murray. Welcome to the Death Talk podcast, a podcast where I talk to people who have either had a near-death experience or after-death communication with somebody they love, or they work in the end-of-care industry, or any other type of thing where death has had a significant role in your life. I've always been interested in why we're here and where we go when we die. I've spent the majority of my adult life working in the film and music industries in Los Angeles. In August of 2012, my close friend Derek Jackson was killed. My life was forever altered. His death was violent and unsolved. The last time I spoke to him, I sensed that something would happen to him. I actually said to him, "I sense a death energy around you." I've never said that to anyone in my life. A few days after that conversation, he was killed. A year and a half after Derek's death, my brother died unexpectedly after a successful surgery. Derek and my brother Michael were two key Jenga pieces in the tower of me. My entire life fell apart. During this horrific time, I also lost a handful of other people in tragic and rare ways. It's what I call cluster deaths. I was unable to escape death. And as I lay in the darkness that became my new day-to-day reality, I found some sense of connection from listening to people talk about death and dying via audiobooks, podcasts, and YouTube videos. I made myself a promise. If I were to heal from all of this, I would start a death podcast. And so here we are, 8 years later. I hope somebody out there listening finds the same type of connection and healing from listening to this show that I received in my years of intense pain and trauma. If I can help one person start to see the light in a vast abyss of darkness, then my life post Derek and Michael's deaths will have meant something valid to me. If you have lost somebody, it would mean so much to me to hear from you. Or if you're facing death in one way or another, or if you'd like to join me in the positive Death Talk movement, please feel free to send me a message from the website, deathtalkpodcast.com. I will answer you personally. Thank you, and thank you for listening. If you would like to share your death story, you can send your death story as a written email, or you can send an audio file of yourself explaining your death story to deathtalkcafe@gmail.com. For more information, you can visit our website at deathtalkpodcast.com. You can also find us on Instagram at Death Talk Podcast and on Twitter, Death Talk Pod.